Hello, my name is Alexander Asal, and today we're going to be talking about one of the most green and beautiful countries in the world, Ethiopia.
First thing we're going to take a look at is the distribution of the population. The population of Ethiopia is 105 million, which makes up for 1.45% of the world's population according to Worldometer. 1,780 square miles of Ethiopia is cultivated by commercial farmlands, which makes up for 15.1% of the land in Ethiopia. With all this information, we can come to the conclusion that the population density of Ethiopia is 83 people per square mile. There are two main classifications of land in Ethiopia, which are urban and agricultural. The main economy in Ethiopia is agriculturally based, but their government is pushing to diversify manufacturing to more modern based things. Their country has a very high birth rate, and with the mortality rate going down over the past few decades, the amount of people is too much for the country to sustain. Ethiopia is dependent on weather and farming to stay alive. The amount of people that they have is too much for the country to support, and the consequence is that the monthly salary for some people in Ethiopia is $290 or 9,060 Ethiopian birr.
The majority of Ethiopia is younger. This is because the medicine in their country is not as advanced, and their society is not as technology based as a modern country like the United States. In Ethiopia, the people die young from various diseases carried by insects, and they also die from lack of medical care and food. In terms of gender, population of males and females are even, but as they get older, it seems that women typically live longer. According to World Bank, the average lifespan of a person is 65 years, which has increased by 15 years since the year 2000. Some common trends in less developed countries are the number of young people are usually greater because of the woman's TFR. This also means that they will have a higher infant mortality rate. Those children that do survive will most likely not live a long life because of their life expectancy, compared to other parts of the world where people usually live from 70 to 80 years. The Ethiopians did not have use of contraceptives until the early 2000s, which the rate of death and birth has gone down drastically in those past years.
Which leads us to our next topic. Ethiopia is very underdeveloped, which means it's still a stage 2 country according to the DTM. Ethiopia's population is growing because there are currently more births than deaths. In Ethiopia, the TFR is 6.53 as of the year 2000, but since then the birth rates have gone down drastically. As of 2016, the TFR in Ethiopia is 4.2, which is due to the use of contraceptives. An effect of overpopulation in Ethiopia is that there is less food for everyone, and there are more people than the land can support. Since there is not enough food, people will become malnourished. This can be applied to the Malthusian theory. The theory states that one day we will run out of supplies, resources, and space for people. With this massive amount of people that Ethiopia contributes to our population, the theory might become a reality. With recent use of contraceptives in the country, an attempt to urbanize the economy, we could see a population decline very soon in the Ethiopian society. Some ways we can prevent this theory from becoming a reality is with the population policy. Luckily, in 1993, a policy was put into effect in Ethiopia. This policy stated that it would aim to harmonize population growth rate with that of the economy and the capacity of the country for sustainable socio-economic development. The goal is for the fertility rates, infant mortality rates, and maternal mortality rates to drop. With this, women will have more opportunities to have more jobs and become educated. An additional result of this is hoped to be gender equality and women empowerment.
Giving women more power like a modern society could make Ethiopia a much more economically stable country. We know this because with women gaining power, they will be more independent. They will acquire jobs which will lower the fertility rate, and the population will begin to decline, since women will be treated with equal respect and given equal rights. In Ethiopia, it is projected to have a very high aging population by the year 2085, but the amount of people whom are young and whom are old are just about equal, with people in their 20s making up 2.9% of the population and people in their 70s making up 2.4% of the population. There was never really a time or will be a time in the near future where Ethiopia is mostly older people. Thank you for watching, and here's my bibliography.